everybody at Creative Scrapbooker Magazine. It's Tiffany from Totally-Tiffany. You probably already know that. And I'm here today to walk you through the fast and furious how to get your paper organized and what tools you're going to need to accomplish that goal of paper organization. So let's start with what you're going to need. You are going to need some sort of paper storage box. And at the end of the class portion, I will go through a variety of products that you can use. So paper storage boxes, you are going to need some type of divider. So these are our paper storage box dividers. They come in a set of 10. You are going to need to create for yourself a themes and sentiments list, and this is going to guide you through the organizing process. And then you are going to need, some sort of sticky notes. These are our Shut Your Flap tabs. They are a plastic sticky note. The reason I like plastic over paper is because plastic doesn't bend. It's very flexible. So unlike paper that you might fold over and get a crease in it, this is just going to pop right back up. So we make Shut Your Flap tabs. There are other brands of plastic sticky notes as well, but I do prefer those. Okay, so once you make your list and get all your supplies together, then you are ready to start the organizing process. So I'm going to start with an empty box here. What did I do? The first thing I did was I labeled, and I'm using 2 sets of our paper storage box dividers, and after I'm done with the sorting process, I'm going to use them as part of my permanent organization for paper. So the first thing I did was I labeled all of my tabs with colors. So when you're sorting your paper, you're going to work in 3 major categories. The first category is themes and sentiments. That's the one you made the list for. The second category is the calendar year, so holiday and seasons. And the third category is the rainbow. So these are the divider tabs for my rainbow section. Then I use my sticky notes to create divider tabs for my holiday and season section, and I just use spring, summer, fall, and winter. Depending on where you are in your crafting life and probably the ages of your children, you may want to segment your calendar year section out, not by seasons, but by months. So if you still have a lot of things going on with younger kids, month to month is probably going to be a little bit more beneficial to you than the seasons. And then lastly, I used my tabs to create the sections for the themes and sentiments alphabetical. So A, B, C, D, you're going to know what your themes are by, or what tabs you need by your themes and sentiments list. So you have things in the A, B, C category, but nothing in E or F. You got D for Disney or whatever it is. You only need to make enough tabs for the letters, the major letters that you have created on your themes and sentiments list. The next thing you want to do is you want to create some extra tabs and just stick them on the category that you're working with. So B is beach, baby, birthday. I know I have paper in those categories, so I made these little tabs, and as I come across those categories, I'm going to be able to subdivide and file a little bit more detailed right behind the B tab by using those. So, well, look at this. Let's start sorting. I'm going to start right now. This is beach paper, so as I put it into the box, I'm going to add that beach tab right to the beach paper, right? And now it's ready to go. So when I find more beach paper, I'll be able to add that right in as well. Next up is colored paper, and this is green. So one of the questions I get all the time about organizing paper is, how do you organize your colors? And my suggestion to you is to go light to dark when you're organizing color, and then follow your light to dark with prints and patterns. So you might have light to dark, and then followed by flowers, dots, distressed, plaids, stripes, whatever types of paper that you collect or that you use, so that you see all your solids first, and then you group your printed papers behind. Oh, here's another piece of beach paper. So now I'm going to be able to go to that B category, and then behind the beach, the one that's labeled beach, I'm going to be able to just integrate that paper right in. So now as I'm working through my pile and finding different themes in different categories, I'm already subdividing using those other little stick-on tabs. Travel, this is an entire travel section. I've got it all together in one paper pocket. So everything for this collection is in one paper pocket. I'm going to go to my T tab and drop that in there. Now, one of the other things that I want to encourage you to do is start with just one paper box and sort as much paper as you can while it's comfortable and easy to sort into that box. And then once that box gets, 2/3 full, at that point, add another box and divide your tabs, right? So, and then sort into the 2 boxes as it starts to get full. So now I'm going to go back here. I'm back in colors, red, orange, pink, red. But it's so easy to just work your way through your stack of paper. Another tip is to start with just a short stack of paper. Don't try to sort all your paper at one time, right? You want to work through a small stack and get that sense of accomplishment. I just wanted to sort 3 inches of paper today. Check it off your list and you're good to go. So this is another travel paper, and this paper has a decorative edge on it. I want to protect that edge, so I'm storing that paper in a paper pocket, but also right there in the travel section. This paper is also pretty delicate. It's paper that has a velvet design on the top of it. I just put it into a supersized single page so I could protect that velvet, and then it's red, so it's going to store right into my red section. Now I've got my fall paper here. I'm going to go right to my fall tab, drop that in. This is a spring collection. So as you're working through, it's very simple to just follow along with your themes and sentiments, with your categories, and literally file your paper into a vertical system. So this is a full collection of national parks paper. I'm going to drop it right in the travel section. This is a collection of Mexico paper and stickers and some other flat embellishments, and I've just put the whole collection into one of our collection keepers. Again, it's just going to go right into the travel section. You're probably getting the theme here, right? I am a travel junkie. I love all the travel papers and stickers and embellishments and all those kind of things. So as you're working through your stack of paper, it's just simply filing things exactly where they belong, and your paper is sorted and it's ready to go. And then you can just take your paper storage boxes and either move them right onto a shelf, or if you're using the paper storage boxes just for sorting, you can move your paper either into your scrap rack if you're using a scrap rack, or you can move it into your paper handlers. And I'm going to talk about products for a few minutes at the very end. Last but not least, I want to talk about incorporating your scraps right into your paper collection. So if you're working on a project and you want to do and you want to use your scraps, you want to keep your scraps right in with the category where they belong. So this is called a Scrapmaster. It is a plastic file folder that has a variety of pockets, big pockets on the outside, slash pocket on the inside, and it is designed to help you manage your scraps. So rather than having them in a scrap box or a scrap bin or in a basket somewhere where you actually have to think about them and go look for them, get the Scrapmaster, and then you can store your scraps. I'm just going to go right to my blue section here, and I'm just going to add that Scrapmaster right in, right? It's got another tab on it. Now the Scrapmaster comes in sets of 5. So you get 5 of them. You can use them for colors, but you can also use them for any theme or category, right? So this is Halloween. So I've used this, I kind of doubled it up as a file for all the Halloween paper that I have, and then also I've got all the Halloween scraps. So if I'm going to work with Halloween paper, I'm just going to go right to my holidays and seasons, and I'm going to pull out that Halloween folder, and I'm going to have both my paper and my scraps together. So really consolidating, getting more things together is important because it's easier to use things. If you have your scraps somewhere else and you don't have them sorted in the same sections, right, themes and sentiments, calendar year, and the rainbow, and you have to constantly be digging through scraps, it's difficult to find what you need. It's overwhelming, and most of the time you're probably just going to say, forget it, I'm not going to use those, right? So integrate your scraps right into your paper storage system, and then you will use them more, and it will also be easier to put them away in an organized fashion, which means it's easier to find them. So at Totally-Tiffany, we make a whole bunch of different types of paper organizers, and they're all designed around different types of crafting. So if you are a stay-at-home crafter, right, you always only craft at home, then I'm going to recommend for you our paper storage boxes, which look like this. These are those, right? You get 5 of them in a package. I'm going to recommend that you use them with the paper storage box dividers. Now you can hold 2,500 sheets of paper in these 5 boxes. So depending on how big of a junkie you are, you might need an extra set or 2 of these, but it gets your paper vertical and organized and easily accessible. These are ideal for people who always craft at home. You're not constantly moving your paper around because each box will hold up to 500 sheets of paper or cardstock. The boxes get heavy and they're designed to stay on a shelf. They do fit in the IKEA Kallax or the IKEA Expedit, as all of our stuff does. We know that's very popular furniture in your craft room. So these are great for people who always stay at home. The papers, we call these paper junkie paper storage boxes. And again, you get 5 of them in a set, so you can organize 2,500 sheets of paper with those. If you're someone who is always bringing your paper to your workspace, or if you like to go to crops, classes, and events, the paper handler is a great choice. So you may have a craft closet or a craft room, but you also go to events and you want to take your paper with you. So if you always only craft at home, this is a great option. If you sometimes craft at home and sometimes away, the paper handlers are going to be a great choice. Paper handlers come in 3 sizes, 12 by 12. This is 8.5 by 11 for width, but A4 for height. So if you are not in the USA using 8.5 by 11 paper, but you're using A4 paper, this will work perfectly for A4 as well. All of our boxes have an optional tabbed divider pocket that you can use to organize your scraps. So the 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11 pockets. The 12 by 12 has 12 by 12 pockets available. And the 6 by 6, so cute. Same little pull-up handles, especially if you're a card maker and you have tons of small 6 by 6 pads. The 6 by 6 paper handler is perfect, right? So if you are a Stephanie Bernard fan, this is a little collection of Stephanie Bernard, and then I've got the paper pads, and then I've got the pockets that I can store the scraps in once I break into those paper pads and start using those supplies, right? So you can group them easily into the small paper handler. Okay, so last but not least in our paper storage options here are the fab files. Fab files are great for people who store their craft supplies somewhere else and they need a lid to keep things nice and neat and tidy and portable. So fab files have the locking lid, and they all come with the tab divider pocket. So when you visit our website, you're going to see that we have the fab file in a variety of sizes, 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11, A4, and this is horizontal. Well, the paper handler is vertical, right? So the horizontal pockets that fit in here, both of them work with the larger magazines that are available at the big box stores that are in that A4 or European size. Sometimes you get with those magazines an A4 set of stamps, right? A big set of stamps, and they're hard to store. Those big sets of stamps are also going to fit in either the A4 fab file or in the A4 paper handler. 8 by 8 is available in the fab file, as well as 6 by 6. So again, depending on what type of paper you use, what type of crafter you are, that's how you're going to choose which is the best box for you. So if you always stay at home, you're going to use the cardboard boxes. If you stay at home and travel a bit, then you're going to want to look at paper handlers. And if you have your stuff stored away somewhere where you want to keep a lid on it, fab files are going to be your best bet. Last but not least, I showed you that, well, I guess it's not last but not least. I showed you the Scrapmaster. So the Scrapmaster comes in sets of 5, so you get 5 tab locations. The Scrapmaster fits in the 12 by 12 fab file in the 12 by 12 paper handler, and it also of course fits, as you already saw, right into the 12 by 12 paper storage box. As I was going through the class on how to organize your paper, I did use a couple of our other products. Paper pockets, right? This is a heavier plastic and it's geared around collections of paper up to 10 sheets of cardstock. Has the little tab over the edge that's going to stick off over the top of the paper storage box or over the top of the paper handler box. And again, you're going to get up to 10 sheets of paper or cardstock in here. This is called a paper pocket or P25. Supersize single, same size, handles the same amount of paper. These have a 3-hole punch on the side. They're designed to work with the scrap rack. They're also going to work in your paper boxes. You can either leave the tab on the side or trim it off. This is what I use to protect that velvet paper. Side loader single is going to hold, again, 20 sheets of cardstock, has a little security flap on the side, and the paper loads in and out the side of it. Again, 3-hole punch. It's going to fit in your scrap rack or in your 12 by 12 craft binder, no problem. The collection keeper, this is for, you saw it for Mexico, right? I had some stickers and some die cuts and some other embellishments in the 3 pockets on the front. And then the back side has a big 12 by 12 pocket so that you can store the coordinating paper there. Again, you're going to get about 10 sheets of paper in the collection keeper. So the collection keeper is perfect for storing, again, in any of the 12 by 12 paper handler or paper storage boxes. And last but not least, we talked about the different pockets. So these are all the different pocket configurations that we make, or different pocket sizes. So you can see they go from 5 by 7, 6 by 6, 8 by 8, A4 8.5 by 11 horizontal, A4 8.5 by 11 vertical, and then of course the 12 by 12 as well. So I hope you'll take some time to visit our website and check out what the paper storage options are that we offer. There are also tons of other blog posts, downloads, printables, tips and tricks, all of those things for helping you get your paper and everything else in your craft room organized as well. Thanks so much for joining me today at Creative Scrapbooker Magazine. I look forward to talking with you again soon.